the app stalled blank on me. What is up, guys? Brando here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today on this quick review on the giant NEOS GPS. Now, I've been cycling for a while and I have to highly recommend you getting a GPS. It basically gives us the information that we need while cycling. We need to know certain bits of data that would help us cycle better. I looked around and I was in quite a bit of a small budget and I decided to get this giant NEOS. But surprisingly, there was nothing much out there on YouTube. And I looked around and there were a couple of videos that were not in English. And I said to myself, I'm not gonna let this chance go. I have to bring you a proper review to show you what this GPS is all about. Let's just get a look at what's in the box when we buy. We get our GPS, we get a micro USB charge cable, which would just stick in right there at the back, a nice waterproof cover. You're getting yourself the mount, which is a stem mount, guys, and you now get two rubber pads that would basically brace this mounting onto your stem. I would maybe go for the thicker one because I don't want it to vibrate so much, but in the same token, the thicker the rubber mount, I think this dude is going to move on your stem. And you also get 3 sets of these bands which come with all stem mounts, and you get your safety warranty and your user manual. Let's get started with some of the specs that this boasts. Number one, we have a 16-hour battery life, IPX7 water resistance. You can connect a Bluetooth N+ heart rate sensor, connect up your speed and your cadence sensor as well, altimeter for altitude. It senses the temperature, your distance covered, your calories burnt. It has a built-in backlight, which is quite nifty. It can switch on and off automatically according to sunrise and sunset. It has that Strava sync, which is so important, and a new track app. You're getting quite a bit for a little summer money. That's why I basically went for this to start off with. So what do I like about this GPS? It's the cheapest GPS at the moment that allows you to connect directly to Strava via your mobile phone and an app, and you would be able to customize to a limit the data that is on the screen shown to you. Remember, I say again, to a certain degree. It's not fully customizable. We're going to have a look at this application. Remember, when you're searching on the App Store or the Play Store, it's not called Giant App, it's called NEOS Track, and I've been searching all the time and I'm wondering, like, where's Giant? And it's not there. It's actually called NEOS Track application. So let's get this application started. Okay, then we're gonna sign in. I've obviously signed in before. Go log in, and here it has my current data that I had before. So it asks us straight away, device manager, how would you like to pair this giant? So we want to use Bluetooth 4. Here we see NEOS GPS, that's this guy right here. We say pair. Do you want to pair? I say yes. Do you want to add your GPS to your Giant account? And I will say yes. And bam, it is done. Successfully added. Finish. And if we go here up to Strava sync, you would just automatically switch this tab and you are synced to Strava. That is as easy peasy as ever. One of the nifty features I want you to see is how we can customize this device. So at this given point, we have the screen opened. We say Bluetooth pairing. Yes, we want to start up the customization of the screen. What can we do? So I have to show you something that's so significant. You gotta know this. This is why I changed from this Giant to my Wahoo Element. Under no circumstance can you have speed and average speed together. There's a couple of pages that you can flip through, but the only way you can get speed and average speed is by physically pressing the page down button. So I don't know about you, most rides that I've been out and you don't even have the ability to press the page down button because you like all numb and you're sweaty and you don't have the energy to go out and press the button. And it allows you to change in speed or average speed or max speed in this one column. So remember, you cannot change gradient to average speed. The section that's blanked out for gradient has time, temperature, and altitude. You can only pick something that is between the temperature, altitude, and time in that blanked out section. When it comes to the bottom sections, you can only choose between your cadence or heart rate in that section. And in your distance section, you can only choose between your energy, time, and distance. So it's not a GPS that you can go around setting freely where you want your values to be. So I cannot take speed and put it down on the distance tab. I cannot take my time and put it up here where speed is. Your values are static in certain positions. So it does allow you to have the basic amount of control of what you want in a GPS. But don't get yourself wrong and think that you will be able to place in any bit of data or data value in any section of these cross out parts of the screen. You can basically switch on and off a screen if you don't want to page down through it. You can put in 4 to 5 values on each screen, but you cannot mix up the screens how you would like to, like in the Element Bolt or your Garmin's. This is static, and I guess that's why they've come to this price point. They want you to buy maybe the NEOS track if you want to customize this GPS fully, whereas this gives you a very basic control. And if we flip through a lot of these tabs, you will see that you can change from 5 to 4, and then you would only be able to still fit time, altitude, and temperature in that section or that grayed out block. In your middle section, you can only go time, cadence, and heart rate. You know, you're not fitting anything else. Obviously, you can have average heart rate, maximum heart rate, or current heart rate, but that's about it. You cannot put your average speed or your calories here on the middle bar. That's what's barring this GPS, and that's the reason why I went to the Element Bolt. But for a beginner, I think it's kind of perfect. I don't think you would need more if you're not training on a serious level. This app does work. It syncs sometimes and then it doesn't sync, and it can get a bit frustrating, but what else do you get with such a small processor and a cheap price point? But at the end of the day, does it work? Yes, it does work. Can you pair in a cadence sensor and a heart rate sensor? Yes, you can. It works. It does work. Does it work 100% as in the syncing functions? No, it does not. It does not sync perfectly. You always have this issue with syncing between ride when you're done to your phone or to Strava. You have to just battle it out with your Bluetooth settings XYZ and try and make it work for some reason. And then I've heard some guys that say it just syncs perfectly. I don't know, I didn't really have that experience. We want to look at the unit itself. What does it have? What does it entail? On the screen, it's pretty clear, it's pretty bright. You can see it. I mean, I've used it at night, I've used it during the brightest of days, and the screen works pretty well. There's a page down button here which allows you to switch between your pages, which at the moment it's just on 4 pages. It's kind of like this old style Casio digital style watch interface here, but you can clearly see what's happening. There's a light button, so you can switch on and off the light. Setup button, which is also your on and off. So if I hold that down, it gives me settings for my units, my clock, altitude, bike 1 or 2, the GPS, syncing all of your cadence sensors, and deleting stuff, and an odometer input. Press the power button again and we're out. The bottom button is a select button. So when you are about to ride, you will press record, it'll start the ride. When you stop in it, you press stop and it will stop. On my own personal level, while using this GPS, I found that the stem mount that's applied, as to all stem mounts that's applied with GPSs, is that it kind of moves while you're trying to press a button. So I think the stupidest thing that these guys ever did was make this GPS page button, which you need to press to see your speed and average speed all the time. It's at a point where when you press the button, it does unclick from the mount. And I've been through like 4 or 5 cases where I wanted to press this button and this GPS literally turned and it unclipped from the mount while I was riding. So luckily I was aware of that. They could have very easily put the button maybe even at the bottom here or here where this power button is, but I think it's really dumb that you have a button that's at a place where it basically perfectly pushes this GPS out of the stem mount. I would suggest you getting the extended mount. This is the giant extended mount. It comes in a little box like this. I would not buy this GPS if I didn't get this mount. It works really well. Let's pop this mount right off here. Let's put this guy on. There we go. So you basically get a stiffer platform to press your buttons, and you don't have the GPS unscrewing from the mount or moving on the stem, etc. It holds this GPS pretty well. It also comes with a little Allen key wrench here, which you can open and close to remove the mount. It comes with 2 of these rubber gaskets that would allow you to mount this on different size stems, and I would say that this pair, it's pretty good if you're starting off. I would really not recommend you using the stem mount. It is just utter rubbish. So what do I have to say on my final thoughts of this GPS? It gives you everything you want as a beginner, but once you move to an intermediate level or you want to get a little bit more serious in your cycling, I think you're going to move away from this. I have used this for like maybe 2 months and then I was like out of it. I needed something better. But for some people I know, they're using it now for like 2 years and they're quite happy with it. I just want to tell you that yes, it's good as a budget unit, and no, it's not for a professional at all. But I just wanted you to know for sure what was the only gripe I had with it and why I changed. I could not see my speed and average speed together in the same page. To me, that's what I want to see all the time. This would buy you a bit from certain features, but then overall and budget-wise, it's pretty good. It's nicely built. It feels pretty solid. The mounts fit only on giant mounts. You cannot use this on a Garmin mount or on a Wahoo mount. I've tried it. It's fine because giant stuff's not badly priced. So I don't know what else I could say. It's a good GPS. It does the job. And if you out there as a beginner, you want to up your cycling game and you want something that's going to help you, it's going to be this little dude. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and you can join our little community. Thank you so much for joining me again, and as always, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Ciao.